All right, roll call of attendance. Ayash is present. Hall. Gahaim. Obaid. Hedwan. Watson. Ferris. And we have quorum. Resolution number 1, acceptance of agenda. Do I have a motion? I heard
Second.
Ferris and Obaid seconded.
Al-Gahaim.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion by Ferris, seconded by El Gahaim. Resolved that the Board of Ed accepts and approves the agenda with any additions or deletions. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Next up, we have a student presentation from Talbeda on the VIP program. So, Ms. Arnarski, whenever you're ready.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I wanted to just take a moment of your time this evening to reflect on our VIP program that we have launched at Talbeda. VIPs are recognized by their performance on I'm Ready. Come on, guys, come join us. And particularly in winter and spring testing. Students who achieve grade level proficiency or their stretch growth, which closes their achievement gap, are given opportunities to work with all staff throughout Talbeda. So they're usually pulled, middle schoolers are pulled during either their enrichment time once a week or up to 2 times a week if they're at grade level. And these kids here, there are 60 middle schoolers who were actually recognized and invited tonight. So
You
of
said
those
60?
60 of our middle schoolers, yeah. Which is a third of our student population for those grades.
Way to go, guys.
So I just wanted to take time to recognize them because it's not easy to close your achievement gap, especially at the older grade levels, because usually it widens at that point. But we are making strides at Talbeda, and these students are working their bottoms off. And so I just wanted to say thank you for your efforts and showing us what you're truly capable of achieving. And we look forward to your spring results. So
Before they head off, would you mind having each of them introduce themselves to us? I know there's 60 overall, but I'd love to hear your names
yeah,
tonight.
go ahead and start and introduce.
Come to the mic. I want to hear you. We're proud of y'all. This is a big deal.
My name is Adham Marna.
Hi, Adham. Congratulations. Come on up.
My name is Lena Musleh.
Lena Maslak, congratulations.
My name is Harun Ali.
Haroon Mabrook. Who's next?
My name is Abdulaziz Fadel.
Abdul Aziz, beautiful name. Who's next?
My name is Amir Abadani.
Amir, beautiful. And last but not least, don't be
My
shy.
name is Yaqub Al-Zakar.
Yaqub Mabrook. Alf Mabrook, you guys. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for doing well on your steps. That was a lovely break in our agenda. Next up, we have resolution number 2, School of Choice. I have a motion. I heard Hall. Do I have a second?
Second.
I heard Obaid. Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby direct administration to implement School of Choice option 105 within our county for grades K-12 during the 24-25 school year fall enrollment. Following the guidelines below, we're doing applications for unlimited K-12 be accepted between May 1st through August 9th, 2024. Do we have discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So when you say from May to August, after that won't be accepted?
Yeah, I think that's the application window. And then after that, I think you have to apply to the school that's within your neighborhood. But I think Joanne might know more than Jim on this. Joanne?
Schools of choice is for students who are
Out of district. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah.
right. So yes, the window closes on August 9th.
For all non-Hamtramck residents. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other discussion? Yes. Jim, I'm going to note that for you. Would you guys make sure there's an advertising window? Because,
Last year, a lot of parents were like, I didn't know that there was
yeah.
more school choice.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Resolution 3, awarding of bids to DE for window replacement. Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
I heard Hall and El Gahaim. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby award the bid for window replacements at DE Elementary as followed with the big packaging. With that amount, project funded through ESSER 3. Do we have discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
First question. Is this a new bid? New bids?
Yeah, these are all brand-new bids, so in your board package, you'll see Rewald actually has a list of all the contractors for the various contracts, and the lowest responsible bidder is being recommended. Again, advertised up at the state level through Sigma, as well as on the district's website. And again, phenomenal bid coverage from that effort. So,
I'm sorry, remind me of your name?
I'm sorry, I'm Paul Wills with Plant Moran Rail Point.
Plant Moran, thank you. Okay, so is Plant Moran in charge, was the architect firm in charge of this, or was it PIA?
Yeah, so Partners Architecture is your architect of record. If you recall from our community as a whole, plus last presentation, all the wards to date have really been under the purview of Partners Architecture as your architect of record. And then obviously Rewald would be the construction manager actually implementing those contracts going forward. So getting away from the general contractor model and going more to construction manager as constructor model, which is very beneficial to the district in terms of timing and, again, getting great bid coverage and making sure we hit those schedules.
Yeah. And then for this bid in particular, the bid package is just for supplies and service, or what are we charging for A and B?
Yeah, so A would be the aluminum frames, Edward glass, so again, this is materials, laborers, et cetera, and then there's the roller shades. So again, I'm allowing the teachers, instructors, for the scholars to help darken the classroom on sunny days. So these are great windows. Again, this type of product is being installed across Southeast Michigan. Again, with the usage of ESSER funds, really helps that, so.
And it'll get completed before ESSER $3 is finished, Jim?
And the project's actually slated to, again, take place over the summer, and that's why we appreciate the opportunity, just like the high school window package, to look at it last
Yeah.
meeting and get those materials ordered and get going. So we had a great kickoff with the principals at Verve School. So again, we're going to have one-on-one individuals look at the floor plans and look at the phasing to make sure we're not impacting any schedules through the spring or summer, and just get after it, so.
Any other discussion?
Yes, we used to get the bids on one resolution. Is there a reason that you guys are breaking it to
Yeah, we like to,
packages?
yeah, well, so just like how we report, I think, to the community as a whole, the budgets should be by project. So as a board, as administration team, you can look at where we're at over and under, where with contingencies, general conditions. So versus having one lump sum, again, that's one of the benefits of having the construction managers, having those individual breakouts, because you can track the ESSER funds, especially if you have multiple different financials. So you may have some general fund, some ESSER fund. It needs to be reported that way. So that's our recommendation, is to have it by individual project so you can see it accordingly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other clarifying things, Jim? Or I forgot your name again. I'm sorry. I'm really under the weather today. Say it again. I will get
Paul.
it. Paul, thank you. I was going to call you Ron, and I knew that wasn't right.
That's all right.
Paul and Jim, anything else you'd like to share about this one?
Yeah, just resolution 3, 4, and 5 are all very similar. Again, you'll see that the next one is, we'll take those one at a time, but the HVAC, but it's a similar process where we did walk through the facilities in November, December. Partners Architecture put the drawings together, and again, just the amount of bid coverage you had across the board is a really positive sign for Hamtramck for keeping that thing within budget, so.
Good question. The estimate, is it still the same way we presented last meeting on the timeline?
As far as start and completion?
Yes.
Yes.
It'll be over the
Still-
summer, it'll be complete before school starts.
Okay.
No, 3 and 5. 4 is just equipment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too, yeah. Great
Got it.
question.
Thank you. All right. Any other discussion?
No.
All right. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Resolution number 4. Awarding of bids, high school HVAC equipment pre-purchase, which, do I have a motion? I heard Hall. Do I have a second?
Second.
I heard Al-Gahaim. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby award the bid for Hamtramck High School's HVAC equipment pre-purchase as follows with the following bid packages. Project funded through ESSER 3. Do we have discussion? I do. Please explain what a pre-purchase is.
Sure, so understanding that mechanical units do have a duration of time, so if approved by the board, we'd go right into shop drawings, basically validating what's the size of the rooftop units, the individual classrooms. From there, then we'd put in our order. It takes roughly 5 to 6 months, depending on the unit, to actually be manufactured. So the problem is, if you, let's say you waited till August, let's say September, so a couple things. Come July 1st, they usually have a price increase for material. So pre-purchasing actually gets you a better, I'll call it unit price. Also, it allows you to get into that production line, so there's no surprises. So you will actually have these units start to show up in the fourth quarter of this year. Again, looking at some existing space in the high school for early staging, and then working with that manufacturer. So it does a couple of things. One is you actually encumber your funds for ESSER 3 well ahead of the September deadline, but more importantly, you'll actually have those expended by December as these units start to show up, and we start phasing the implementation of those in early 2025. So that's the pre-purchase piece. They're just long lead items, but again, there's a lot of districts out there trying to spend their ESSER funds. So again, just being ahead of that curve and ordering these early, we think you got a very, very good purchase price for these, and again, you're already in the queue for the manufacturing, so approved.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to add, Paul was referring to a space in the high school where we could, have the units ready to go into the room, so you would be doing this room by room. Also, you would be looking at, there's currently lockers there, it's by the pool area, and those are unused spaces. So this will allow us to clear that out, and then we'll be able to use it after for whatever the high school might deem necessary.
Because I was asking, where do we have a room in the high school?
Actually, there's, between the two locker rooms on both sides, I think there's about 10 to 15,000 square feet. So again, that helps there's no storage costs. Obviously, the crane yards are gonna have your rooftop units kind of lift and put in place when there's no students in the building. So it's gonna be a delicate dance, but again, it's something that both ourselves and our architect and CM firm have done a lot of this phasing. Again, trying to expend those ESSER funds as quickly as possible. And again, just working with the principals and doing things in a phased approach versus trying to do it all at one time, so.
So this is a heavy equipment. Do we have interest that will allow you to enter these?
Yeah, actually, so the rooftop units more likely would be on the trailers. They would come as is, but then the unit ventilators, they would fit through a standard 3-foot by 8-foot door, and they're on a pallet, and you can pallet jack around the building. And obviously, we'll take a look at the elevator, again, look at how to phase them up to the second and third floors, so.
Paul, this is a question for Jim. Is the high school principal aware that he's possibly losing this space for the staging?
Well, the space isn't used now. It's really for a lot of storage, empty space, but with old lockers in it. We talked about possibly doing a contract this year on a salvage basis. Essentially, what you do is you bid it and you tell the contractor, you take the metal, you turn it in, and then that would substitute for some of the cost of the contract. We were looking at that to free up the space for potential use for athletics.
Yeah,
also
but
the-
there's no storage costs, right? Like,
No, there'd be none for this, yeah. The other good thing is, I know talking to the principal last week, we have a one-on-one looking at the floor plan, because again, the window package, the thought is to start on the third floor, kind of work our way down by section, so he was really excited to have some of the staff maybe move into the newer spaces. I worked with him when he was at Farmington, so he's very familiar with that phased approach, so he's looking forward to it. And like I said, it's gonna be a coordinated dance, but I think the more communication we could have with the principals, ultimately through the teachers, that's gonna make it go very well, so.
You guys said the locker room where the pool is
mhm.
in the back of it, or is it actually where the locker?
They're on the sides, like kind of between the main hallway and the pool. Like there's already the pool and small locker room spaces, but there's two very large. There's like a lot of lockers, a lot of space in there. It's high bay space. It's probably 14, 15 feet, and right
Is
now
it
it's
the
just used
back
for
one?
storage.
The back ones.
Right, the back room. No, I was just thinking because I know in the summer, the kids, they go there and swim, and we have open swims, so I was making sure we have like room for people to actually put their stuff in the lockers, like in the beginning of it.
Yeah, the shower areas that's to be up and operational. The small lockers would be. This is the secondary. As you come in, you go left or right, and again, there's a lot of storage being just district storage right now.
A lot
So.
of locker bays in
Yeah.
that space.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Mhm.
Yeah, so the good news, when you looked at the actual architectural drawings, there is a by-room schedule. So again, working with the architect and the CM, we've been able to count those numbers. One thing you may look at is, would it make sense to potentially get a unit price for future? That's something that, again, we could talk about as, secondary when you start bidding out maybe some of the labor later in the fall, so.
Thank you. Sorry, we are trying a new method for recording, so if you're not talking directly into the mic and it's red, the stream can't hear. It's okay. You're doing fine. It's us. Thanks, everyone. Is there any additional discussion?
Not for me.
Thank you. Anyone else?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Resolution 5, awarding of bids for D East HVAC. Do I have a motion? I heard Ferris. Do I have a second?
Second.
Obeyed. Resolved, the Board of Ed does hereby award the bid for HVAC for DE Elementary as follows. Project funded through ESSER 3. I have the same question about this project for Paula Jim. Is this equipment being purchased to be used now, or is there a storage issue, or what are we doing with these packages?
This is getting after it. This is getting it done, taking the building offline through the summer, and getting it all done this summer. So it's obviously the high school. larger, but then there's also going to be some ancillary spaces that will be maybe carrying over to 25, but there'll be no storage. Again, it's going to be as-built, shipped-in type approach, just like we're doing for the high school, so.
So remind me again, so you were gonna work on the DE HVAC this summer, and it'll be set to complete before the school year starts?
Let's go with phase one. Again, phase two, that's where we want to meet with the principal and say, okay, how much, where's that delineation line? But the most important part is expending the ESSER funds, getting materials online and having them available to installation. So it is going to be a phased approach. And I know we had a schedule, I think, in the last board packet that kind of showed you the carryovers, so.
Right, but some of the concern with the schedules is we don't get clarity on them, and this is not you, Paul, but in the past, we've never aligned to that schedule, especially near the start of a school year. So I guess what's the guarantee here that the start of school year won't be chaotic?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I think Jim did a great job inviting all the principals affected by construction. So again, getting that, not just the 3 bars that you saw with design, bidding, construction, but really, here's a floor plan, here's phase one, here's what June looks like, July looks like, August 15th, we have to be done because teachers are going to come back. What has to be carried over, let's say, for second shift. You know, those are some of the details we want to provide you at the next board meeting. So it's kind of this, we approve it, we get the confirmation from the suppliers in terms of when the material is going to show up, we meet with the principals. And so you're going to see us probably on a monthly basis, just with the reporting of, again, clarity of what's happening when, to make sure that you don't have any surprises when, you know, again, we're hitting those deadlines and those expectations, so.
Any other discussion?
No.
Thank you. Anything else, Jim, you'd like to add to this resolution?
You know, I would say that we meet, well, now it's every other week as a construction team. We have minutes from those meetings. We can supply those to the board. I mean, we outline everything in those minutes, so you can keep up to date on any information. We'll do presentations as, you know, the board would like. We can do them quarterly.
Actually, I think even the Friday updates, again, from central office is important, like kind of what to expect on a week-to-week basis. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, we've got the dashboard, I think is a helpful tool. I think updating the website so community members and parents can see it as well, and guardians. But again, it's just that, not just communication with the central office, but the board, the user groups, and again, try to get as much specificity as possible so there's no hidden surprises, so.
That's helpful, thank you. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Resolution number 6, approval of an emergency repair. Do I have a motion? I heard Ferris. Do I have a second?
Second.
Elgahame. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve emergency repairs to the Hamtramck High School elevator by Cone. Estimated cost is listed. Project funded through a general fund. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why is it called emergency? Is it because it's not working anymore? It's not functioning?
Well,
Make me laugh, I'm sick.
yes, that is part of it, but the other part is that by board policy, if we have a emergency repair or construction, you know, that needs to, for health and safety of students, we're going to do that, then at the next regular board meeting, we're set to bring that to the board for review and approval. We've, in the time that I've been here, we've spent about $24,000. We had repairs monthly. It keeps breaking down. Finally, it was one of those things that, you know, this is what it's going to take to fix it and make it operate on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's been a lot of repairs on it, you know, the past year. How long has it been? Is it actually functioning right now or no?
Right now, it's being repaired. They're in the middle of it. I can get you the completion date on it, but they're in process right now. That's part of the reason why it's an emergency too. We need to get started on it and get it done.
Okay. What's the cost comparing from new to repairing it? Is there a price difference?
Well,
You-
we'd spent to date about $24,000 repairing it. You know, it would be a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there. This is what Cone told us would take to make it operational. The 132,000.
No, I mean, what's the price of a new one?
Oh,
Instead
I'm
of
sorry.
keep repairing it, you
I'm
know?
sorry, I didn't
Yes.
understand that. I don't.
A lot.
Because this has been ongoing for a couple of years now that I know of.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
And I
Clarify.
know some students stayed home because it wasn't functioning.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah. I was-
Because of accessibility issues,
Yeah.
Jim.
You could actually ask Revolt, I mean, we've got a size that's a 3-stop elevator. We'd probably come up with a price for it.
We can follow up on that.
Yeah, because
and
we don't
let
want to
you know.
keep putting Band-Aids on it.
Right.
And,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
And that's the reason for this emergency repair is we were putting Band-Aids on it, you know, replacing a part here, there, and then it would break down again.
Especially this Band-Aid is big.
yeah, this is a big Band-Aid. That's why I
I-
said, what's the
Band-Aid.
price difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it worth, you know,
I was
repairing
gonna
this, or
say-
should we table it the next meeting? What do you guys think? I don't
Oh,
know.
well, I was gonna clarify. So for this 6-figure repair, is it literally like taking like the literal cube, that's the elevator, and then swapping it out for something
No,
else?
I think it's all the mechanicals of the elevator.
And then
Because-
will that fix it?
That's what we're told.
Oh, that makes sense.
Actually,
That's the
I
problem.
used this back 20 years ago when I was in high school.
Yeah. They're gonna, okay.
So you're
It's-
talking
it's
about,
been- yeah,
it's
it's- it
been,
might be the
it's
end of
been an
its useful life.
old.
That's why.
So is there a way to them to do, take the little box out and replace a new box? I mean, in layman's term.
I can ask what additional that would be, but, like I said, they're really just doing the mechanical pieces of it.
Is there a way to make it bigger?
That would take a lot of work.
It's huge, but
Is it really
old.
huge?
Yes, it's huge.
I remember it
but
being
it's-
small, the one in front of the auditorium?
Yeah,
Was it huge? I remember it.
no,
was.
it's a,
I don't. It's a normal. It's not huge.
Is it ADA compliant?
what's the capacity of that?
I think it's 800 pounds, I want to say.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I don't remember being that big. Well, if we table it, we don't have a meeting till April 17th. How quickly could they give us an answer on replacement?
We can get on it. I mean, I can talk to Rich and
So-
we'll work on it.
If we table it, won't be an issue with,
That's why I asked. My first question was, how long has it been down?
Oh, that's true. I guess can
So-
the building function, can they wait on the board or they want this repairs now?
Yeah, if you're gonna wait, you're gonna have to go out to bid.
Because if it's
that
been
would-
down for a while, I mean, another couple
Month.
weeks won't hurt till we find out if we can
No,
get
that
a
would-
new one.
That would take a couple months.
If this passes like today, when will it, can start?
Yeah, how
with
soon
repairs?
how will the repairs be done?
You know, I don't know
Oh,
the
yeah.
timeline on that, but I'll get back, I'll get that information back to you.
Do you want us to table it and come back to it at the end of the meeting and you want to make some calls or do you?
Yeah. that'd be
Okay.
good.
is there, can I ask which one? Is
F1,
there a way we can approve it when we get the information? We don't have to have a meeting or?
Oh, actually, let's modify the resolution. Could we do approval of emergency repairs? Hang on, resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve emergency repairs to the Hamtramck High School elevator by cone as discussed by the board, project funded through general fund. You want to do that instead?
I think that
With
might
the
be,
understanding that
yeah.
if they could replace it, we'll get the number?
because at the same time, we want to make sure it's accessible and working for our
Yeah.
students and staff as well. So as quickly as possible.
Okay, so Joanne and Deja, did you guys get it? So resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve emergency repairs to the Hamtramck High School elevator by cone, strike out that number, as discussed by the board, project funded through general fund. Are we okay with that? So then, Jim, if there is an option
Mhm.
that can just replace the whole thing, please email us so we get the final number, but the board would approve, obviously, I don't think anyone here tonight has an issue with making sure we have an accessible building. But if we're already throwing money at it, let's see if we can get a better solution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll work on that once I
Okay,
go
so,
back to mine.
Thank you.
no problem. Thank you for that. So now we're voting on, as discussed by the board, project funded through general fund. That's our resolution
Yes.
amended. So all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Resolution number 7, adoption of the revised budget. Do I have a motion? Oh, thank you so much, Paul. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Elgaham.
Second.
And Fair seconded. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby adopt the revised budgets for the 23-24 school year as presented. Jim is still available to answer questions. He did go over them at our last meeting.
Questions?
All right, you're not on the hot seat today, Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, 5 ayes, 2 absent. All right, next up, we have our board calendar. So we do have to change our April meeting, and we agreed to April 17th. Would anyone like an option to change that, or does the 17th still work at 6 PM?
Let me pull it up.
So Eid is most likely the 10th or 11th of that.
I think it's the 11th.
Yeah. And so I don't know, it depends on how long you take for holiday, but the 17th would be the following Wednesday. Does that still work for everyone here?
Should.
We can change it, just have to be sure, but if it's the 17th works, we're still meeting then on Wednesday, the 17th, which is the third Wednesday in April. And then we go back to our normal scheduling with May 1st and our regular.
We're not gonna have a cow meeting in that month?
I don't think so. I think Jim wants to do one before the June meeting, but we can schedule one later.
On April, we don't have a cow meeting, right?
No. Well, that's for us, not for him. Yeah, we make it. But April 17th and May 1st, does anyone have an absence in advance they'd like to let me know about? Good, all
Good
right.
I think we're good.
Thank you. All right, now we're going to go to consent agenda. Resolution number 8, approval of consent. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Ferris. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Algeheim. Resolve the Board of Ed does approve the following items under our consent, which are our meetings from our last minutes from the last 2 meetings, some hires, some field trips, some resignations. All right, there's no discussion on consent.
Discussion.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You want to move something off the consent?
No, I guess I need to verify.
Yes.
C,
Mm-hmm.
is this the same one we had discussed back in June?
Jim or Joanne, the virtual learning specialist. Remind me, did we approve that position first?
I think we did. Okay.
Yeah, as a new position, we did approve.
Okay. I mean, we have only 65. How many students we have for virtual? In the 60, and the program is not that huge that we spend all this money. I mean, we can give it a chance if this will improve the program. If not, I will, requesting that the student go back in
Okay.
instead of having.
I think having one student in VLI is better than nothing. So,
Both of you are breaking consent agenda rules. Do we want to move it out and discuss it separately?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's not a rule. We just follow Robert's rule. And
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding us.
no,
I mean,
Adi, you guys want to move it, or do you want to just vote on it? Because to avoid, I don't want to do discussion right now. I'll move C
so
then.
this is,
We can have a standalone vote on C, and we can talk about the issues. I'm okay
Okay.
with that. So approval of consent, items A through Q will now become items A through P, okay? We're moving approval of employment for the virtual learning specialist as a standalone vote, okay?
Okay.
So with that, all in favor for the consent agenda items as presented? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Resolution number 9, approval of employment. Do I have a motion? I'll motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I heard Algeheim first. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the employment of Patrick Cashin for the virtual learning specialist for Hamtramck Public Schools, annual salary $65,000 per year, effective March 4th, 2024. Now we can have discussion. So what I wanted to say when we were still in the consent was the point of approving a position before it gets posted is that we could share all of our feelings in advance on the actual position so that a real human isn't affected if we rejected it, right? That's happened before, and I want to be wary of that. But I would like to hear both your concerns about VLI so we can note it.
It's just, I think that the VLI students is not getting what every student should get.
That's fair.
Our program is not that strong.
Mhm.
If this person will come change it and make it better, I'm not against virtual,
Mhm.
but I'm against that all students should receive education
Same
equally.
education, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all.
No, that's fair. And then Mr. Algeheim?
No, I think,
Yeah.
this is why we, approved this position, and this is why we're trying to see if we can improve on VLI. And I think it's important to, to pass this, though.
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking about it when you said 60. I was thinking about it from the perspective of like a teacher to student ratio. 60 kids to one person is still a lot, right? So if this, I don't know if this person, yeah,
This
if-
person is just
managing them.
managing,
Yeah.
but you still have staff,
Yeah.
teachings, and all that.
So yeah, I'm okay with giving it a shot to
But-
improve the process, right? 'Cause,
I don't have no
yeah.
problem to prove it, but we need more plan or
Like organization, structure.
To-
Yeah, I
yes.
agree.
I
That's fair.
think there should be, yes, and I think this is what this person is intend to do. From what I
Yeah.
heard, yeah. So
I agree with you both. We can live into two thoughts. I like that. Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favors? All right, so this is now resolution number 9. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, 5 ayes, 2 absent. Now we're moving into audience participation. This portion of the agenda is for citizens to address any questions or comments to the board. The board will listen, take comments and questions under advisement and not respond at this time. The presiding officer will refer questions to the super for research and response. Persons wishing to address the Board of Ed must complete an audience participation form and submit it to me. Forms must be filled out completely to be accepted. Joanne, do you have any? Do we have any in the audience? I saw people filling them out. Nope. Oh, nice. All right. Anything else before adjournment? I would like to say to my Muslim board colleagues, to our Muslim students and staff and community members, Ramadan Mubarak, Kull Aam wa Antum bil Khair, and inshallah we make it to Eid.
Oh,
Ramadan Kareem.
Yes.
one other thing. I seen our calendar for
Yes.
the year, and we have, I think, April 8 and 9th all for Eid,
Oh, no.
or 9 and 10, something like that. And Eid is actually on April 11th. Is there a way to adjust no school? Because I don't want them coming back on Eid day or.
Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
actually. So these are official days off, right? And we approve
Yes.
the calendar at the beginning of the year. What we can do then is motion tonight to adjust that if it's possible. I don't remember the rules around it. It's not a PD day, right? Sorry, it's not a PD day. The 10th is a PD day. Mm-hmm. So if Wednesday's a PD day, that's fine, but then the day after, what's the, no, it's the 11th, I know, but I'm saying,
Okay, I think it's gonna be updated. I just got a message that it'll be updated and corrected to the right date.
no, that's fine, but I'm saying, do we need any board decision on it? Because we're not coming back until after Eid, and I'm not gonna have a
Yeah.
special meeting.
Mhm.
Are we don't need any votes from the board?
Okay.
But yeah, so please make, yeah, because we have the dates out of Ramadan set. Also, I don't know if anyone in the public knows this, but the Muslim calendar is called the Hijri calendar, and it follows a lunar cycle. So every year, it feels like it goes back 10 days, but we do follow a full moon phase. So if you ever see a full moon in the sky, just know that it is the middle of a calendar for people who follow a lunar calendar. So just a little fun fact. But if we don't need a board vote on that, it'll get corrected. I'm okay with that. Anything else before any other board business?
Nope.
All right, with that, the regular meeting is adjourned at 6:33 p.m. Thank you.